Let's go over this portable mobile hotspot device. So this device tries to solve one problem, that is getting a decent internet connection when you travel without playing the SIM card games or paying carrier roaming premiums. So if you travel, you already know the routine. The airport Wi-Fi that barely loads email, the hotel Wi-Fi that dies the second you join a call, and roaming plans that feel like a tax for crossing a border. So this little box is one attempt to fix that. A global eSIM hotspot that works in over 180 countries, can connect up to 6 different devices, and doesn't lock you into a contract. So the official name of this is the Linklan LA7 eSIM1. So it's a portable 4G LTE hotspot. So it's basically a mini router that takes a cellular signal and turns it into Wi-Fi for your phone, laptop, and tablet. So it supports 4G LTE with a wide range of bands, and it claims coverage in over 180 countries. Inside, there's a 5000 mAh battery, and on this, then it'll last less, and if you have a weak signal, then it'll also consume more battery. And it charges through the USB-C port right here. And of course, what's nice about this is the size. It is really small, so it can easily fit in your luggage or bag. So out of the box, you get 5 gigabytes of US data for 15 days to test it for free. So that's really nice of the company to offer that, so you can test it and be able to use this and see its capabilities. And after that, you buy data in the app by gigabyte, day, or month. And again, no contract or credit check. So the setup is pretty straightforward, and we'll go over a demo of that in a second here. I'll just give you a brief overview. So all you have to do is just power it on the button right here on the side, and then it'll start booting up. Okay, and then once it's booted up, then you connect your phone or laptop to its Wi-Fi network, and then you use the Linklan app to pick a data plan for the country or region you're in. So there are 2 main ways to use this. So you use the built-in eSIM and you buy data directly in the app for different regions, or you can use the physical SIM mode. So you insert your own SIM if you already have a good local data plan, and you can insert the SIM right here. There's a little slot for that SIM card. So that's one of the great features about this, having eSIM and physical SIM. It's important to note that you cannot use the eSIM and a physical SIM at the same time. So if you insert a physical SIM, the eSIM is effectively disabled and some Bluetooth app features are limited. So once it's set up, it behaves like any normal Wi-Fi network. Your phone, your laptop, and tablet just see it as Wi-Fi with a name and password. So if you move between countries often, buying a separate SIM in every airport gets pretty old fast. With this, you land, you power this on, open up the app, and buy data for that region in a couple of minutes. So much easier. So you keep your regular phone number and offload data to this hotspot instead of swapping SIMs in your main phone. So this really helps if you travel with a partner, family, or a small team. Again, you can connect up to 16 devices. So instead of paying roaming on several lines, you just share one data pool. And everyone gets Wi-Fi by joining the same hotspot, which is cleaner than having multiple roaming plans. And the 5000 mAh battery is enough for a typical travel day, from doing maps, emails, social apps, occasional uploading, and a few calls. It's not really a multi-day battery brick, but as a daily travel tool, this works fine. It can also act as a 4G to Wi-Fi or 4G to WAN LAN router. So you can drop it into different setups like a home, office backup, car, or RV. The limitations of this, depending on where you are, there can be drops in the signal. So that's just important to keep in mind, but that's the same for any type of device like this. So if the local LTE network is weak or overloaded, this device won't fix it. In poor coverage, it may also drain battery faster while it keeps searching for a signal, so just keep that in mind. So if you have to have a rock solid connection for critical work in remote areas, this should be as a backup, not your only plan here. Okay, so let's have a look at setting this up and getting the 5 free gigabytes. Okay, so we'll go ahead and set up the Linklan. Go ahead and click on the apps. You want to download the Linklan app. We'll go ahead and open it. And then we have our different tabs on the bottom here, shop, my eSIMs device. And we want to go to device. And we need to enable the Bluetooth and location services before adding the device. We need to make sure that airplane mode is also off. Okay, and then we'll turn on the device. Okay, now that it's turned on, we'll add device. Okay, then to install the eSIM, we'll go ahead and copy this ICC ID. Go back, details, go back to install eSIM, manual input, go ahead and put in the code and confirm. Okay, so then we can go on over to the details, go to network management, okay, all right, and we can start. And there's where we can set the password. Currently it's set to 1234567 We can also set a device password. Then we can go to the last page right here, connect back to the device, install eSIM QR code. And just give it a minute. Okay, and then to connect to the Linklan, you just go on over to the settings and connect like you would on any Wi-Fi network. We've already connected. We have the 𝗪𝗏 588.775. So we're connected and we can see that on the device here. So if you look, you can see, so we have the time, then we have the signal, and then we have a number 1 right next to the Wi-Fi symbol, showing that we have one device connected to this. Of course, the battery life. We also have this 4 different options for screens. So we can go ahead and just press the power button quickly once to scroll through. So that's the connect to the network. And then we have the total data used. And then we have a QR code to the Linklan website. So I'm not actually going to install the eSIM right now, as I don't want to activate the 5 GB free just yet for 15 days. So let's go ahead and look at the rest of the app. So we can go to the shop. This is where we can, of course, get the different packages for either local or regional. And we could scroll through the different countries. We can also search up at the top. Here's the regional eSIM. And we go to My eSIMs. So we can see our active and expired. And then, of course, again, our devices. And then our settings where we can see our orders, our coupons. So really simple. And when you wanted to install the eSIM, just click the install button. So when you want someone else to join this network, just go ahead and scroll to the second page and just have them scan this QR code. And that's it. And you're ready to go. And again, you can add the physical SIM card right here as well. So again, that's what's great about this device. You can use eSIM and a physical SIM. Again, only one can be used though, either a physical SIM or the eSIM though. Okay. Who is this device for? This definitely makes the most sense for frequent international travelers who are tired of buying local SIM cards in every country. This is also great for families or small groups who want one shared data connection instead of having multiple roaming plans. This could also be good for business travelers who need a backup to hotel or Airbnb Wi-Fi for your calls or some light work. And it's also great for people who like having a dedicated travel hotspot so their main phone stays on their primary carrier. So this could also be good for a backup as well. So even if you aren't traveling, just having this lying around in case your internet goes out is definitely worth having. So if you're doing any heavy streaming, you care a lot about region locked content and exact IP location, this is not going to be for you. And anyone who works from very remote location and needs guaranteed connectivity, this is not going to be the device for you either. So this is a convenience tool. It simplifies travel internet, especially if you're moving across borders with multiple devices and people. Again, keep in mind this won't create a signal where there isn't any, and it's not perfect. So if you like the idea of one shared flexible hotspot for trips, then this is definitely a device worth checking out.